Don't worry, people. I'm still alive. Don't worry. But yo, welcome everyone. Sanju Uche here, and welcome back to the channel. Of course, as you can tell, today we'll be tackling Boruto episode 203. The long-awaited fight between Naruto and Jigen is about to... yes, I mean, manga readers know, and person who've been watching my channel for a while know I've been looking forward to, these next two episodes, 203 and 204. So yeah, but yo, I know, little housekeeping for all of those that actually care. Yes, I apologize. I know from the fact that you see last week roll around and I don't even do a reaction slash review on episode 202, and then the whole week passes and still nothing. Yeah, I'm sorry for that, but for the most part, we're back up and running on my somewhat usual schedule in terms of posting videos again, so not to worry, I'm good and we're ready to go with more content for the channel. Of course, I've been just kind of finalizing and making some transitions in life, so I kind of used the last week or so to actually finalize all of that. But we're back, and not necessarily better than ever, but we're back. So yeah, so episode 203, as I said, looking forward to this fight between Naruto and Jigen, as a manga reader especially. And this current arc has been really good in the anime, to say the least, with the additional material that they've kind of put in to fix whatever issues a reader may have had with the manga. The choreography is something that they've even improved on as well with the anime. And when it comes down to this upcoming fight, honestly, it's one that I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're going to expand on. So let's see how it goes. But yo, once again, thanks for tuning in. I think I've rambled on long enough for this intro and my little channel housekeeping. So respect for tuning in if you're here for the first time, and let's get into episode 203. Let's go. All right, the manufacturer of the Ishiki wine. I'm not gonna lie, from last week's episode, I really love how just the lighting and everything on this new Ten Tails. Do you even have chakra to get back? Alright, surprise attack. Viz-kun looking pretty Vizy. Kawaki's like, yo, remember when we just met Viz-kun? What's with that? Now, you kind of are a kid, Kawaki. Yeah, it seems so odd seeing Naruto in slippers, dog. Like house slippers, isn't it? She cleans every day, huh? Oh, I'm not your son.
I'm not your dad.
Shit. A lot of the times when I see like Iwabi and Denki and like some of these other side characters outside of Inashika Cho, it kind of feels like they're saying, hey, remember, these guys still exist. So, I don't know. The dynamic between Iwabi and Kawaki might be an interesting thing to set up. We hit Trashamaru guarding the gates. Yo, them a whole lot of fun. The greatness, come on, jeez. Too bad. Too bad him not even forget the flowers there right now. Trust me. You have an ass whooping forget. Hey, all who wants is what Konohama is going to do once Jigen shows up. Who wants the foolishness that's going to go down? Alright, Setia, no! It's the winemaker himself! Medea! Woo! Let's go! Yeah. No, we have to pause this because hold on, shit. Because it's just that even the look on the man face, the man just looks so casual, bro. Like, dog, I'm so sorry for coming into your living room with the shoes. Like, I'm sorry, dog. You see me? Like, you would think it'd be like, it's like the it's just the look at Jigen's face. You would think it'd be somebody that Naruto was acquainted with already. You see me? But just that smile, casual. You see me? Jesus, peace. Stop it! Mm-hmm. Yeah. Konoha, what are you doing, fam? What are you really doing? Jeez, peace. Well, to be fair, Jigen, like, in my personal rankings, I mean, Konohama's like what, Jonin, and then you are like what, Kage, Super Ninja, God level. So you have to understand Jigen, and it's Konohama. Let's be honest. I'm loving the OST. The art kind of looks kind of off in some point, at some points. For Jigen specifically. Yeah, level 2. Yo. Alright, well on. I don't like the like, for some impacts they have that flashing light. But no, I don't really like it that much. Okay, well, all of this is new. Yeah, I'm loving that red effect over over Jigen. Yo. No. Loser. Yo. Alright. Well, as Vegeta would say, the stage has been set, so let us begin! Yo, episode 203 of the Boruto Naruto Next Generations anime. I Honestly, loved it. I loved it. It wasn't as spectacular animation wise and art wise as I would have liked as the first part or the first section of this whole battle against Jigen, but just the whole setup and build up and suspense kind of kept me at the edge of my seat, especially as a manga reader. But for the most part, definitely a solid episode. Like, But let's start at the beginning. So, of course, I did love all the scenes with Kawaki. I love the symbolism they were going for with, you know, ever since this whole plot or this whole narrative with the V's came in, it's always been like a symbolic comparison to Kawaki as a character and how everything he's experienced up to this point and everything he's experiencing now going forward, that's kind of changing him for the better through his relationship with like Naruto, Boruto and company. So with this episode, I love specifically like the line where he was saying like what's restored about a vase that's leaking. Essentially, it felt like the writers in this specific point, well, Kodachi at the time, was basically really pushing the symbolism there when it comes on to Kawaki and his character. So I definitely love that. Now when it comes on to the line where Kawaki says I'm not your son to Naruto, I don't believe that was actually in the manga, but I think it was a nice addition to set up at least the comparison or the contrast for that whole speech that he gave to, you know, Jigen at the end there to say, oh, just leave Naruto alone, I'll come with you. I think it kind of made it resonate emotionally much more than if they didn't really put that there. I think in the grand scheme of things, it kind of helped to signify that even in that moment of Kawaki saying I'm not your son, deep down he didn't really mean it. So it kind of gives points to the episode in retrospect when you really analyze it from, you know, the end of the episode going back. So there's definitely that. Now, of course, as per usual, we do have the supporting cast, quote unquote, of Iwabe, Denki, Chocho, Inojin, Shikadai. Yeah, we have them there and we have them discussing Kawaki. No, it's cool and all, I guess. It's kind of like as I was saying during the whole reaction section of the video where, yeah, it kind of feels like they're just put there to just remind us that they are characters that are supposed to be the supporting characters. So it was kind of like, okay, this is more subjective, but it was kind of like whatever for me in terms of having them in the episode. So it's not like we got much of, you know, these characters interacting with Kawaki even in the expanded version of events in the anime version here. So it's like whatever, seeing these characters. And of course we do have a lot of Boruto and Mitsuki. Of course Mitsuki, you know, expressing concern about the karma seal and kind of foreshadowing the things to come, the coming conflict with Jigen that we actually start with in this episode at some point. So there was that. These are all little tidbits, little sections of the episode that really help to kind of build towards the suspense of Jigen eventually coming in by the end there. So, you know, I liked it. Some of the stuff works, some of it didn't really work with the supporting cast specifically. So it is what it is for me, if I'm being honest. Now, of course, I think one of the big things coming out of this episode that persons will definitely be talking about is Konohamaru versus G. Listen, honestly, I don't know. At this point, persons must be saying like, the writers definitely hate Konohamaru, man, because obviously like from Konohamaru stepped in, I was like, obviously when Naruto got pinned down, we didn't expect Konohamaru to run, and it's like, as a watcher, as you're watching the episode at that point, you must be saying to yourself like, yo, Jano, I know where this is going. It's not gonna look good. Yo, trust me, like Konohamaru just doesn't have the best track record, and the problem I think with Konohamaru is that I don't think it's the fact that people expected him in this case specifically to beat Jigen, but it's just that his track record is just it hasn't been impressive at all. So it's just like, it's just Konohamaru losing as usual. And it's not to say he hasn't had some wins, but it's like his wins, how significant are they really? So I think that kind of reinforced the issue with Konohamaru in the Boruto era. That was another, I think, negative about the episode. I guess I could say that. No, the extended scenes, we definitely got some extended scenes between Naruto and Jigen there. They're appreciated, but as I said, when it comes down to like the animation of it's nothing to really write home about. You know what I mean? So while I did appreciate the additional fight scenes and the additional setup that factored in the fact that Konoha was there as well, it wasn't anything spectacular visually speaking. So yeah, there is that. But I think most of the tension really comes from the fact that obviously from the get-go Naruto isn't having an easy time, and even statements from Kurama and even how Kawaki is actually acting and trying to be proactive in actually stopping the fight. I think those are the fundamental points in this episode that really drive the tension home in terms of how strong Jigen is, because if you're a manga reader, and if you think back on it, you'll realize that all, if not most of the comparisons between Naruto and Jigen from a power standpoint have been removed from the anime, with the exception of the statement that Kashin Koji made. No, I don't think... Did Kashin Koji still compare Naruto to Jigen after the Delta fight in the anime? In terms of power? I'm trying to remember. I think he did. But if he did, that would have been the only comparison where we had at least one more comparison in terms of between Naruto and Jigen. So, in order to make up for that, I think the way that Kurama and Kawaki were acting in this episode kind of makes up for it, to kind of drive the tension home. And of course, by the end there, we have Sasuke coming in to the next dimension to, you know, set the stage for Naruto and Sasuke to fight against Jigen. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it, because obviously most of it, are the bulk of what's going to make this fight spectacular, hopefully speaking, if it's going to meet my expectations, is going to happen in episode 204. And I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, them pulling out all the stops for the episode, for that fight, with some additional fight scenes, because as we know from the manga, the choreography of the fight wasn't necessarily the best or as fleshed out. And I'm trusting the Boruto anime, because for the most part, a lot of the previous fights, for example, even the fight against Ao, and most of the fights coming up from there have been extended with some additional fight scenes to make it feel a bit more fleshed out. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen there with episode 204. Okay, I don't want to be like the hype man, because I haven't even checked out the preview for 204 yet, so it depends. So yeah, but all in all, it was an okay episode. I feel the plot is moving along. If nothing else, progress has been made. Tension and stakes are higher than ever, I feel, with Jigen now in the picture and the revelation that there's been a 10 tails. Naruto and Sasuke are kind of setting the stage for another team up, and if the Boruto era is anything to go by, whenever these two team up, it's something to look forward to. But at the same time, the episode wasn't really all that spectacular, I think, visually speaking, in terms of animation and arts. So yeah, for the most part, it was an okay episode, I feel. So let's see how 204 turns out. But anyway, Sanji Uchiha, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm officially back. Apologies again for the long, the week plus delay in not uploading anything, but hope you guys are all doing great. Let's talk in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next Boruto video.